Hello and welcome to a very special episode of Video Game Replay. My name is Larry. Joining me today is my co-host Aidan.
Dolph in the building. What's up, y'all? Joining us is also Big C.
Ready to get this conversation going?
Yeah.
Well, we're coming to you with an extra this week. We're going to release this on February the 8th of 2025 in preparation for the big game coming up on this Sunday, which happens to be the Super Bowl, where the Kansas City Chiefs are playing the Eagles of Philadelphia. Um, and to celebrate that, we're going to play Tecmo Super Bowl with the special version of the 2024 update, which we'll go more into that later. But let's get to the important part. This is the number two eating holiday of the United States behind Thanksgiving. We are talking about the Super Bowl on Sunday, and we got to talk the important part. What are we going to eat, guys? What's the important part of what you eat in this? What do you got to have? What do you got to have? Hey, what's your demand for Super Bowls?
Beer. What? You guys supposed to say what? No, I'm just kidding.
What?
Corned
What?
beer.
Nah, I mean you gotta have the wings. The wings are classic. Probably, preferably a little
Oh yeah.
buffalo, little ranch in there. I don't do blue cheese because I'm a pussy, maybe. But not a big blue cheese guy. Gotta have chips and
If you
dip.
if you got a good spicy wing, I want some blue cheese. If it's just a buffalo mild, I can do.
See, I'm not a big
Uh,
blue cheeser. I can do it. I can tolerate it, but I'm ranch all the way for me.
I'm kind of neither. Dip a little. I'm more of a barbecue,
Yeah, he's
but I
not.
can appreciate. I like spicy barbecue. A hot wing.
I've seen him like dip ranch on shit, and like whenever he dips it, he'll literally get like the tiniest bit. But when he dips ketchup, I mean,
Bro.
you gotta have
All
a fourth of a
right,
cup.
okay, CJ. Now this asks the question: Are you like your favoriteest player ever, Patrick Mahomes, where you put a fucking bottle of ketchup on a damn steak?
No, not on
Do you do
steak.
that?
Not on steak. No, not on steak. On like a lot of stuff, but not on steak.
Okay, okay.
When I
Well,
eat
I'm glad to
burger,
know that because
normally dripping out the ass of the burger. A lot of ketchup, but steak, no. I
No,
normally
no way.
you gotta put barbecue thicker and then mix your A1 on top. It's more A1 than barbecue.
What the
Need
hell?
a little bit on the. I'm telling you,
I'm
try it
judging
once.
right now. Me and Larry are judging.
oh shit, you just never had a good steak. That's your problem.
Like like a 4-to-1 barbecue or 4-to-1 A1 to barbecue rate. Want more A1 than
I'm
barbecue.
my mind is blown right now. I'm a no
I've
sauce
never
kind of
used it.
guy.
It depends on the steak.
Oh,
If I'm doing like Roadhouse and it's regular old steak, I'm like, let me just I'll do it. If I'm making a steak, I feel like I can make it juicy. If I'm out a lot of these chain restaurants. Now, nice and
Even the
fine
Roadhouse
dining
has good enough steak to not have A1 on it. I don't.
depends
it
on
It
the
should
has
be.
to be
steak.
a
You're setting that
bad
shit
steak.
back.
Longhorn makes a really good rib. I'll tell you that. I don't need sauce on a long.
Well, you
So
shouldn't. Damn, that's like $100 fucking steak, dude.
40 for the meal.
Still, still.
So what do we
But
have? We have
yeah.
what? I'm trying to think of some foods, some Super Bowl foods. I mean, I got wings. What are
Gotta
some
have pizza. Gotta have pizza. Got
pizza?
to.
Okay.
Some people do pizza.
Okay.
I don't think. I don't
You
think.
don't gotta eat a bun. You gotta have a piece.
You just gotta have it there, even just one, just for aesthetic.
Yeah.
Just for the aesthetic. Just have one pizza.
A
Eat a lot.
little cheese, a little heartburn. Yeah.
Gotta do some dips. There's a
Um,
variety of dips. Gotta have some salsa. One
Chicken dips up there.
chicken dips up there. Chicken dip is solid. I mean, I can tear up some
I
chicken
agree with
dip.
that. Yeah, yeah. I have to say, Aiden, you probably should somewhere sell your chicken dip recipe available now. Just contact us at vgrpod at gmail. $5, we'll send it to you. It's top shelf, dude. You've gotten my whole family into it. So yeah, props to you on that. But as you were,
Well, I mean, chicken dip's
don't
just
give
one
it
of those
away.
things.
Don't give it away.
Oh, trust me, I'm not. That's for like as a close family secret. We have to like fight to the death. But yeah, chicken dip is just something else. Like it can be a dip or it can be the whole meal. You know what I'm saying? Like if you give me a bowl of
Hmm.
chicken dip, I'm satisfied. You give me a bowl of
Not
salsa,
wrong.
like I'm like this can be a pre-meal. This can be an appetizer. I can just have a snack
It's
right now. But that's just the difference. I mean, like, don't get me. I can fuck up some chips and salsa. Don't get me wrong.
So salsa or pico?
Uh, they're obviously
It depends.
they're very different, but I want to say if I'm putting it on like a burrito or on a taco, I'm going pico. If I'm dipping, I'm going
I'm with you.
salsa.
Hmm.
I feel like that's just
I'm with you.
that's standard issue.
Can't agree more. Can't agree more.
My old ass wants to agree with you, but I find that I don't get as much heartburn out of
Fair.
pico, so I have to lean pico a little
Probably
bit.
more
But hey,
fresh.
if
Yeah,
there's a
pico
good
for
salsa sitting there,
yeah.
But do you guys
If you
like?
don't have salsa, fine.
Yeah. It's interchangeable if you need to. What do you guys think about the green salsa? I think salsa verde or there's a couple other
I
green
don't
ones.
think I've ever tried it.
we we have to introduce that just so we can have an opinion on
I
that
think
next time.
it's like you roast
I don't.
you roast little tomatillos, roast some jalapenos, some garlic, some onion, some cilantro, some lime juice. I just have a Mexican accent the whole time when I say it. But no, it's I've made it at home and very solid, very solid. It's less of it's
Yeah,
not tomatoey. It's like it's more of like a roasted like kind of more sour profile and a lot more roasted. You don't have that like the sweetness of the tomato. It's pretty solid. But I tell you,
Oh,
off topic but on topic, a recurring guest that has been showing up recently, past couple Super Bowls, a sleeper is spinach artichoke dip. It's been it's been climbing its way up the dip ranking for me. It's good as hell.
I don't like
it
spinach.
is good. What?
Can't
What?
get down
That's
with
why
it,
you're
bro.
frail, dude. That's why
Dude,
you're like
you
not
get some
working
spinach
well here.
artichoke in your body.
Yeah,
It'll be
yeah,
like
for real.
Popeye eating spinach.
Boom. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, dude. You know, he was frail and then he busts out some canned spinach at that. Canned
Yeah.
spinach. He's still
Canned
like
spinach.
representing then.
But
Yeah.
what we got pizza, we got wings, we got all sorts of dips.
Look,
Chips and
if we're
dip.
gonna say something about a dessert, I'll give you extra points if you have a custom cake that's like, for example, this year Eagles versus Chiefs. We'll get some bonus points. But one we can't forget, I don't know why I feel like it's a bit if I ever watch. Gotta have it.
Dude,
Good
some
food.
cookie cake. I don't think that's been showing up at our residence a whole lot, but I've seen it happen. I've been to a friend's and I've seen it happen.
Now, help me here. Are we talking like cookie cake, like a chocolate chip cookie cake
Like
that's
from
flat
Walmart, the
and
flat one in the circle
Yeah.
with like icing around
Yeah.
the edge,
okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't recall seeing that in any of
or
ours
from
either, but
anywhere.
uh,
Dude, my parents always used to do it, and I never eat like a tie. I eat like half a small piece. Gotta have a
I
piece.
tell you this
Have
this
to.
the little smokies wrapped in like a little croissant. What are those pigs in a blanket? Those
yeah.
are sometimes a recurring guest. What do we think about
Um,
those?
Yes.
I don't know. I brought this up and we had passed through dips. And I don't know. I got to throw out there. I need some queso. I like some homemade
Yes,
queso, man.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I can
Nothing
tear up some
fancy,
queso.
just something I
Yeah.
could dip every bit we talked about into and talk myself right
I
up.
could
And that's
rub
what
my
I'm talking.
body in it. And I tell you, this is gonna spoil.
Oh, oh,
This might spoil our origins, but I mean it's a pretty broad area. A lot of our Super Bowls or gatherings have some pepperoni rolls. They have some pepperoni
Mhm.
rolls. Tend to be a pepper two
yes, sir.
or a roni or two. That might give us away a little bit, but
Dude, on Thanksgiving, I
Hey.
made myself sick. Genuinely sick. The heartburn was insane. I ate probably like 4. Like, it was not good.
dude, I mean the thing is, it's the drive by what gets you. It's you're done and like, oh, let me go in the kitchen to get some pepperoni roll right there. Don't mind if I do.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
let's take a second to let's explain to the uninitiated. A pepperoni roll is a small handheld device made of perfection, containing pepperoni, cheese if you like, all wrapped in a little blanket of love. And you can make them huge, or you can make them just tiny enough, like Aiden says, to drive by. You walk by, you grab one, you grab two. It's
Or
football time. We're big boys, and I mean, dude, it's awesome. Just look it up. It's something you need to
Dude,
take home to yourself
if
and
you
do
don't
yourself the
live
right way.
in the mountain valley state, I don't know if we have a quote or something, but if you don't live in that state, then you got to try it out. That's all I'm saying. And I want to touch on what I was saying earlier and what Larry was talking about. One of the great things about this holiday is the drive-by. It's so unappreciated. At the start of the game, there's usually like a dinner bell, like, "Oh, we got all the food set up. Come and get something if you're hungry." What people don't talk about is that food is gonna be on that counter for the next 3 hours, and it'll just get eaten, each at pat. You're gonna be there for maybe 5 hours, and you're gonna be full the whole time somehow. It's just
Yes.
Oh yeah.
it's just how it works. I mean, you drive by. Oh, don't mind if I little smoky. That one's for me. Little chicken wing. I might don't mind if I do. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's
Oh
what
yeah.
makes this holiday great.
Yeah.
Protein heaven all day on this stuff. Yeah, we stopped long enough to catch the national anthem. See who wins the toss, and it's like, hurry up, eat more, go quick. Got to get up
Yeah.
with kickoff.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
first commercial, cool. After that, it's like, oh no, we're back to. I need a couple wings real quick. I
Yeah.
know something that we have in our world too, which again, like I say, protein heaven. We do the cold shrimp tray sometimes too. That's can't beat that.
Okay.
Little
I feel
cocktail
like yeah.
sauce, cold
Yeah.
shrimp.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah. I
Bringing it
mean,
back.
go ahead.
No, I was just saying we're discovering we're like remembering more things as we go on. Like I had a hard time. Like I was like wings. What else do we have? I mean,
Yeah. Right. I was kind of the same way. Yeah.
yeah.
Fruit trays.
Oh,
Fruit
fruit
trays.
trays. There's usually a couple fruit
Oh
trays, maybe a
yeah,
veggie tray.
Yes,
that's how you
dude.
know it's a holiday because they'll break
Yes.
out the fruit tray and veggie tray.
Dude, the mini carrots are so much better from a veggie tray. Holy shit! Like I can
Oh
eat
yeah.
50.
Another great
They do hit
another great
different.
drive-by food. A baby carrot. No, the baby carrot is like you go a little smoky, little wing, little dip, and on your way out you have a couple of baby carrots. Make yourself feel healthy. That's the strat.
Yeah.
That's what you got to
Exactly what
do.
I was thinking. It's like I did well. I grabbed a carrot. I'm good.
Don't mind if I do. Let me be healthy here. That's what you
Can't
got
say
to do.
shit to me
Underrated.
about that. I got a carrot.
Underratedly, might be debatable. Depends on how you want to drink it. Depends on what you're drinking. To have some 2 liters, I feel like it's just kind of a staple. Like
You
not
gotta have it.
bottles, not cans.
You gotta have a couple 2 liters laying
2 liter
around.
solo cups. Doesn't matter if they're red, pink, blue. 2 liters. Even if it's just two and everybody's drinking 2 liters. For the
Oh, yeah.
aesthetic.
For the
Have
aesthetic.
to.
Well, that's for the excess. It's just to solidify the American excess that we are appreciating all day.
Yeah. This football, goddamn it. Urgh.
That's right. And just in case you don't know, I guess I'll throw it out there. This whole thing is to commemorate the last 4 months of us cussing, carrying on, having tears, cheering, crying, just going through every emotion that a man could ever have.
Crying.
And then within a week later, you have to go and apologize to your wife, girlfriend, or significant other with, Happy Valentine's Day. Sorry, sorry, my Bears suck this year.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I was
every
kind of been an
weekend.
asshole for the last 2 months.
Yeah. And
Yeah, I mean,
we're all in that boat, actually.
we're
All
all in
three
that
of
boat.
us
As
are
you
in
can
that boat.
see, we're all in that boat. CJ, I know
True.
CJ's not was not in in the contending. I mean, got the Miles Garrett Cup here, little used, but let's just say our
That's
teams
love.
teams
Franchise the ever.
our teams are not
Fun
in it.
fact: the New York Jets are the only professional team in the United States to not make a playoff appearance across the four major sports.
Hmm.
Probably because they sold their soul out to Satan to win a Super Bowl back in the 70s. I seen little Nicky. I know how that shit worked.
But as we all know, we got the Eagles and the Chiefs. Maybe the worst possible outcome that could have happened in the Super Bowl. It's gonna be the Eagles and the Chiefs. I hope they both lose somehow. It's gonna be rough. That's all I'm gonna say. Could be a
They're
good
not gonna
game.
be.
Could be a good game.
I am pulling for great commercials, and I was it Kendrick Lamar doing
Kendrick
halftime
Lamar
this
at the
year?
halftime row. I'm looking forward to that. I like some Kendrick.
I'll go for it, man. I mean, obviously, I've not been much of a fan, but I'm always willing to give an opportunity. So,
Lil Wayne's pissed. In New Orleans, they ain't called. He's pissed apparently.
But also, like, he
yeah.
doesn't drop good music in a minute. Your prime is past. I love Wayne, but your prime is sadly not here anymore. I mean, let's give. I mean, Kendrick's had one of the biggest years last year with all the beef and dropping an album, and he deserves it.
Good out. Top the center of attention. Center of attention. People gonna. You don't give a rat's ass about football, but you like Kendrick Lamar. You're probably gonna at least see it.
Anyway, we hope it's going to be a good game, but we're going to talk about a good game right now. We're going to be talking about the Tecmo Super Bowl for the NES. Um, Remitted hack version that you can find online. But either way, Tecmo Super Bowl. It was originally released as Tecmo Bowl in the arcade in 1987. For the NES as Tecmo Super Bowl in 1989. But the version we're playing was the one released known as Tecmo Super Bowl, which released for Christmas of 1991. So this is actually older than I thought it was at one point. Of course, it's been developed and published by Tecmo, same people who made Ninja Gaiden. Goddamn, for those who pay attention. And of course, this is a sports ball game of one of our favorite sports, football, American football. Here's your history lesson, real quick. Originally designed as an arcade game, Tecmo Bowl was a four-player arcade cabinet, so four people could play, which is kind of weird because one was the quarterback and one could pick a running back or receiver. But also, it only contained 12 teams, generic teams, because Tecmo hadn't acquired any sort of licenses from the NFL to use any sort of names of players at that point. So basically, you had red team, blue team. But when they ported it in 1989 to the NES, it was still Tecmo Bowl, still had 12 teams. At this point, they were representing their selective cities: New York, San Francisco, Chicago, Denver, the big teams like that. But they had generic names because sorry, because Tecmo hadn't landed their rights to the entire NFL licensing. But they did acquire the team. They acquired the Player Association's license, which allowed them to use players' names like Joe Montana, Lawrence Taylor, and the greatest game or greatest player ever to be able to be put in a video game, Bo Jackson. We'll talk about that later. But finally, for Christmas 1991, you were able to get the fully licensed experience, having all 28 teams with their official names, the logos, the players through most of the teams, minus a couple of them who weren't on there because of contract issues. And you got to play in the 1990-91 NFL season. So you did not get to play with Brett Favre, but that's all right. He was still a Atlanta Falcon at the point, I think. You gain statuses, which basically means you were just normal like you would be, or you can get on a hot streak, which led you to good or excellent. But also you can get into a bad spot, which gave you the opportunity of becoming hurt because there was depth in this now. You had backups, you had backup quarterbacks, backup players, at least on the offensive side. And then also during this, you could choose one up to 28 different teams to play through the season, or put them on skip and jump through the season and just play the playoffs. So, I mean, it became a very deep game, and we played the newer version, which, again, just more information on this real quick before we jump too deep. This game was so beloved by the communities that I think it started maybe in 2010, if not sooner, maybe in 2000s, when emulation became a bigger thing and video game hacking and all that was growing. People had continued to update the rosters. They actually added on the teams where now we have all 30 teams there. And it comes out almost every year. Quick Google search, Tecmo Super Bowl for whatever year you're looking at. Um, Go out there, check them out. We're not sponsored, we're not shilling for them, but I think it's a good thing, especially if you enjoy football. But we played this current year, the 2024-25 NFL season. Aiden, what's your first impression? What do you got?
I actually liked it better than I thought I would. I thought it would be a lot more clunky and really a lot more shitty than it was, but I mean, it played well. It played smooth. It was kind of cool. At first, I didn't really know what I was doing. I was like, man, you can only pass to one receiver. That's why can't I pick him? And that's kind of I can only play one player on defense. What the hell's going on here? But I mean, as you learn that that was a skill issue, and you can actually just change your receiver you want to pass to. I mean, it's a cool game, and with the updated rosters, it definitely added an aspect that kept me more interested in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I
no,
mean, I had felt that that's why I pushed a little bit. Let's go that direction with it because I was concerned that maybe with some of the older stuff, you guys may have not been into it, but at least if you knew who you were playing, then you guys would have that. But DJ, this is your first go at the place of Tecmo Super Bowl. How'd this go for you?
You guys are just lucky I don't have some stats to bring in if I played with Bo Jackson or something. Good thing we did keep the modern rosters because, of course, I played with the Jets. It was really fun, actually. Yeah, I didn't have high expectations. I thought I had played it before. I think I played a different '90s variant of Madden. It was more of a vertical surface. This was fun. Get the arcade feel, and not in a bad
Yeah,
way at all. It's very, you can tell it's arcadey. It looks like something that, especially because the time of the game, it really gives you that feeling where it's like, hey, Larry, like, play a quick one. Let's play a quick one. We got a little debate. We don't have to go play a 45-minute Madden game. Dude, let's figure this out. Let's play Tecmo Bowl. Play Tecmo Bowl for it. And it feels yeah, no, it feels fun. And like Aidan said, once you get over the fact of 2 seconds later, it's really fun. The only thing that messed me up off first impressions, dude, I took like 10 minutes trying to pick a play. I was just staring at it and I'm like, I am clicking over, and then I am clicking the B button, and it's not working. And then I realized, oh, it's at the, so a little user error, like typical J takes here. But yeah, it
Eh,
definitely kind of knocked the socks off for first impressions compared to what I thought I was coming into.
well, I guess I want to one at least reiterate the idea we really need to go and hunt down manuals. Because I actually looked up this one as before we in our pre-prep for the show today, and I wish we had because I didn't know it. I didn't own this as a kid. I had friends who owned it and all that. This comes with a 52-page manual, which breaks down how to do offense, how to do defense, how to change players, how to pick plays, how to just do everything. And it even goes into a point of giving you a description of the teams, all 28 teams, and some of their highlighted players and what they were good at.
Man,
I mean, it's really detailed. I was kind of mind blown, like, damn, this is a book. Considering some of the other manuals that we've had from other games, like hit A, jump B, slash, good luck. I mean, it's just so. But I mean, yeah, this was how we spent weekends, days, nights. Because truthfully, you would come in, say the three of us would come in on a Friday after school, and we're gonna get together tonight. We're gonna get pizza. We're gonna get Pepsi, Coke, whatever you drink. Diet Coke probably because I had a friend who did, and I know Aiden's you know, he goes to meetings for it. But you know,
believe
I pick my Bears, you pick your Browns, you pick your Jets, and we pick a couple games we want to play in between here or there. I probably at least want to do divisional games, those kind of things. But you were able to play a handful of games, make sure you won the important ones, check your stats, which was a big thing I think, but also skip through all of it. And by the time you were able to crash at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, you probably at least hit playoffs if you didn't already just at the end of the Super Bowl. So it was possible to do it, especially in a day, depending how much you wanted to skip through. So I think it had that going for it. But so I know I wish I'd had the opportunity to share with you guys some of the video of what it looked like to play the arcade game because they just look like little chubby dudes running around. But I just look for you, CJ. How did your eyes feel after looking at this?
Um, the arcade pop really hit me. I think that color wise, I liked that, they matched up colors and stuff. It's not just like, oh, like you said, how it started is, oh, we got red team and blue. Even the cutscenes, I think were amazing. Even in the cutscenes, example, if I'm the Jets and I score a touchdown, it's not just showing a generic football player in a black jersey and showing me with the football throwing it up because I just scored a touchdown in a green jersey. It goes back to my quarterback doing this in a green jersey. See the other team still behind me, like little details that go a long way, especially when we're talking 30 years. Didn't expect it, kind of just expected generic touchdown, good job. But no, I mean, I think the best part about the looks of it, um, cutscenes, honestly. I think just
Hmm.
I didn't expect every time that I would get a cutscene, like, cool, there's a cutscene. Oh, okay, there's two or three cutscenes 18 million different cutscenes. It just wowed me every time. It's just like little things really will make your game go far in a consumer's eyes, and I think those cutscenes it makes you feel more immersed. And honestly, kind of a fresh break from the new games because the new games cutscenes, dumb replays. It's and over, and it takes forever, and it's like just play. This one, no, it's just a quick little boom. You can look at your friend and hit him with the touchdown, and it gave you enough time for that only. It's perfect. So I think the colors, the attention to detail, the cutscene really blew me away compared to what I was coming into. That's for sure.
No, I mean, I don't disagree with you. How did you feel about this? Did anything light your world up?
I thought the graphics were good, and like you said, the cut scenes were a good point. I definitely think in person that would definitely have a bigger impact. Like oh, like it's like it starts into a cutscene. Like oh, he's jumping up to get it. Oh my guy fucking dropped it. Like you lucked out.
Yeah.
Like that would
Yeah.
definitely come into play if you're playing in person. But yeah, I thought I played. I don't know if this is probably different on the actual arcade. I was playing like an updated version with rosters and stuff. But I mean, it looked good. The colors were vibrant. I could tell what everything was. I thought it looked good.
It's true to the actual graphics of what the 1991 version of this is. They didn't change that much. They left that retro feel into it because that is a big part of what this game was and is and how we remember it from back in the day. Uh, the color schemes, some of them are really good. I think with the limited palette, they had to work where they could. Me being a Chicago Bears fan, my navy blue wasn't very navy blue. Um, it was a shade of blue, but like I say, this wasn't the one that I wanted. But even though I can tell you from the
Yeah.
'91, it was almost black too, so you'll have
Yeah.
that. Um, I guess I'll bring up the idea of the cutscenes. You guys didn't stop to think about. This is Tecmo, people who made Ninja Gaiden, the game we played prior,
Yeah.
um, who created cutscenes for their stuff. It's kind of became their gimmick almost to some degree, but I think they used it well. And like Aiden said, I do love those ones like you throw the pass, the guy jumps and
Yes.
waves his hands out, he's trying to catch it, and then the other guy, hits him and it bounces off, and it's just like, oh, did you get like this whole 2 to 3 seconds of tension,
Yes.
which I think the game helped create a little more depth for you and all that. But
Yeah. No.
anyway,
That was a good point. I left out. Those were. I mentioned it. I said, dude, I'd talk. And I mean, like, I would be running my mouth. Yeah.
and you could on some of these. I mean, I recall I played this with a buddy not many years ago. I ran into a guy I hadn't seen in years, and he was back in town, and we got together. We played Tecmo Bowl. He was a Dolphins fan. I'm a Bears fan, and I think I want to say it's like 2012, 2014, some of that neighborhood. And the Bears sucked really bad, and the Dolphins were decent. Playing like I said, played the one of that year, and I thought I was gonna at least give him a game. No, he just handed me my ass all day. And I don't say it has the same glitch as the Madden games did, the early ones, where like a guy could hit a post and you couldn't stop it. But it does have something close to that because I don't know if you guys have tried it, but did you realize you could throw almost a 90-yard pass in the air?
No, I didn't.
I played with the Jets, and my offensive line didn't allow me to have time for that. No, I did not.
Fair enough. Um, well, I didn't either. Being a Bears fan, I'd say again give them props to the stats updates on that because everything seemed to go pretty well. Caleb Williams in his rookie year seemed all right, decent. But yeah, there's no such thing as blocking on my team either. So,
Yeah,
did you pay
I'm with
enough
you there.
attention to all the little sound cues and all that stuff, Aiden? Did any of that ring in your head still? You gonna have some of that tomorrow?
Uh, a little bit. Nothing. Mm, this was probably user error, but nothing crazy standoutish. I think I was also listening to music while I was playing, so that might have that might have been
Typical Madden kind of guy. This is Tecmo, not Madden. Get it right. Should have known what you're up against.
Well, but I mean, don't get me wrong. I know that you wouldn't have thought and that's a terrible word. You wouldn't have thought about having a soundtrack to a video game about football, but
no.
looked it up, and yeah, I think there's about 40 minutes worth of music built into this
Yeah,
game somewhere.
yeah. It's like it's almost shortcuts. Is kind of what I noticed. Like it's not. There's not, especially comparing it to modern Madden or the NCAA games. They just take what's popular and they put it on there. That's what
Mhm.
happens. So it's different to where it's not so much the short sound cues and stuff like I said, even with the touchdown cutscene, it's pretty quick, but you have a little touchdown
Yeah.
jingle, and like that's nice. The halftime show, kind of badass. They have a halftime show that actually has some music in the background and stuff, and then like the final game. I think they did pretty well with the Super Bowl champ music. They made you feel like I didn't win it, but because I was the Jets, but
Yeah.
you know they make you feel like yeah, your team won the Super Bowl. And even the intro, I mean, I wasn't gonna pay much attention to it. I had it on my sound bar. I didn't even have it on my headphones, and then I heard intro kind of was a little upbeat. It was like if you made retro game sounds have a baby with sports sports music, generic sports music. This is what it
Hmm.
produced, and it's kind of like 8-bit generic sports music instead of a lot of what we see is just kind of typical what's popular rap. Kind of was a little refreshing to where it felt original, and it was not this song I hear every time I go to the mall or every time I turn on the radio. It was just something a little original, jingly. I mean, sound wise, I think they did pretty good with it. I'm not gonna lie. The little clips really did it better than to me playing Aiden in NCAA and hearing the same damn song on third down every time.
Yeah, if you
Like,
or if you play 2K while you're loading it up, you'll hear Toby Maguire got bit by a spider, an Eminem song
it's the
that is,
worst Eminem song
and it literally just
ever. Oh
just
my
just replayed, and it just replays and replays every time you load up. And CJ gets so mad every time he hears it.
dude, I hate it, dude. It's so annoying. I don't care that Tatum
Like play
McGuire
some
got bit by
classic
a
Eminem or
spider.
something.
That might actually still be cheaper than anything newer. Yeah, who knows? Um, I will touch a little bit more on the opening. Like I say, if you just start up and fire it, I do love that. It's in essence, like I said, I don't think you guys played football much later in life either way, but I do. It makes me think of like fall. It's got that little ding, that little time chingling where the dew setting in the mornings. You wake up. You may remember from when you went to school, but that's to me that was football time. And it's like, yeah, here we go. Then it breaks down to a little bass riff where it's just like, oh, here we go. We're getting busy now. We're going to work. And then by the end of that whole piece, um, it's we're in the football season. Here we go, and bam, and it's just a good piece of music. I think they probably took a lot of influence from NFL films type stuff. Uh,
Mhm.
but I think that itself puts it there. I mean, now I know there's not a whole lot of sports ball fans probably that are really this far into this right now, but if you are, it's a good piece of music. I think, truthfully.
You're making me feel like I need to go back and re-listen to it. Maybe I neglected
At
the.
least, at least YouTube it. At least.
Yeah, I mean, like I say,
Yeah, I
if
know a lot
you
of
if
these
you have
games
the
have
game
those.
open, they're just well, I say just start it because it's even got like a little film of looks like practice and the city skyline comes in. I mean, it's worth 2 minutes of your time just to load up just to hear that and see that, and then
Yeah.
point out who they think the hot players of the day may be.
Hmm.
Um, but Aiden, did you find something like say you that didn't make you want to play this? Is there something you don't like about it?
The
Something
only
you do like
thing
about it?
this is the only thing that kind of pissed me off really was this obviously wouldn't be the same case if it was in person, but playing the computer on those kickoff returns,
Mhm.
and they're just the juke masters, and like they always like bring me to like the 40 or 50 off the kickoff return. I'm like, mother effer, I cannot catch this guy. He's just the best guy of all time. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say anything really pissed me off that much. I mean, that was just something that was getting on my nerves that they were so good. The computer is so good at, but I wouldn't even say that's like a game flaw or a design flaw. But I mean, I don't think I had any major critiques. No.
The, uh, the one thing I'll ask both of you right now because I know again, like I say, you were learning through this process. Um, we'll go back to the arcade. In the arcade, you guys catch the point like where you catch somebody catch you and like you kind of like skirmish for a second. In the
Hmm.
arcade, you'd have to sit there and hit the joystick around. In this one, you smash the A button. Did you
Yeah.
catch on to that, or you just take your tackle and go on?
I just went tackle.
Yeah. I
Be
watched
honest,
a
I did not
couple,
know.
and then after I hit the ground, I was like, oh shit, I was supposed to do that. But there was a couple I just was spamming buttons trying to catch it more than anything. And then I thought the ball was kind of joggling around at first, and then I was like, oh shit, you can break like out of tackles. So I ended up catching up onto it totally by accident, and honestly forgot about it a lot because my lack of attention sometimes. But I knew it was
Well,
there at
well,
least.
this is a serious fact about me. Like, no, CJ will seriously tell you this. When we play like updated version of like Madden in NCAA, I'll tell him like, dude, I never smash the A button when it tells you to. I just forget. I don't know why. I
Yeah.
just always it's just smash the A button. It just doesn't compute in my head. I mean, this is the first time I didn't even know you could do that in this game. To be honest, it's the first time I'm hearing of this. But yeah, I never do that in any game for some reason.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe me feel like we shouldn't pull some out and then let you guys go at it. Like give you guys a little bit of tips of the things in here because I feel like if we were playing this together, it's like, how'd you do that? What are you doing?
Yeah.
And then at that point, I'm like, well, I tell you to at least beat you then.
Yeah. You're not gonna beat me in my own game, motherfucker. Yeah.
At least not at first, no. Especially you, CJ. But what kind of grapes you got? Anything you want to complain about in this?
Honestly, almost to copy and paste of what Aiden said, a little less specific. Um, Not even just the kickoff returns. I felt like overall, I was just kind of slow in comparison to the CPU. So it's like I feel like I should have a breakaway. I have 20 yards on them, and then four of their linemen somehow are the ones that are catching me. So it felt a little imbalanced. But like Aiden said too, in person, probably less of an issue. Other than that, I kind of I respect that it's not easy to block a field goal, but at the same time, I wish it feel like as soon as you finally almost break the line and are able to, I feel like it's instantly they're already kicking. But compared it to new games, it's kind of the same way anyway, so I can't really hold it against it.
I actually
And
got
one more.
you're good, but I got sorry to interrupt you, but I just want to touch on what you said. I got roasted in a forum for I looked up and I said or somebody said, "Is there a sprint button in Tecmo Bowl?" Because I looked it up because they were so much faster than me, and somebody said in the comments, "This is the dumbest question of all time, dude. There's two buttons." Is what they said to me. It's what they said to the guy in the comments. I just want to point that out because I was thinking the same thing.
I'm glad I was kind of the same way. I was like, I mean, holding something's got to do something because I was like, that dude just caught the ball. Tyreek Hill caught it. He just burnt me. That he's got to be sprinting. No, yeah, no, I'm with you. So at least it's not just you. This is more of a one-off. I wouldn't say it's my least favorite part of this specific game, but when we're talking sports games, specifically football, and if we were playing in real life, I can't make Aiden uninstall this game. Fun fact, Aiden. Tell him what happened last time we played college football against each other.
Okay, listen. Every every game that we play, I'm better than CJ at. And it's the case for 20 for NCAA and Madden too. But for some reason, he plays what is it, Notre Dame? What team is it?
Notre Dame is
Dude, he
crazy.
plays Notre
Yeah.
Dame and he beats the brakes off me every time he plays Notre Dame against me. And I don't know why, but it makes me get so mad. I was like, dude, this is unbelievable. Like, even if I play with Ohio State, I'm like, how's he still beating me? Like, I'm so much better at this game than him. Every time he plays Notre Dame, he just
Yeah.
turns into a pro. And I said, okay, I uninstalled it. I ended up installing it a couple weeks later, but was like, I'm uninstalling this game. We're playing something else.
Mid game, he uninstalled it. It was literally mid game before, like we didn't even go back to the huddles. Didn't get to pick another play. He just said, "All right, dude, I'm just done playing against. I'm not doing it," and uninstalled it. So
Damn.
I wouldn't want to make him break his cartridge because he can't reinstall his cartridge. But, if there was a way, that would make this game even better.
I would almost pay to see that happen. Um, I look at this through rose tinted glasses, so I'm not even to touch anything I don't dislike or like about it. I mean, yeah, the AI is a little rough on it. I think though it's probably I don't know. I look at it more as it tries to give you some sort of curve. In the original Tecmo Bowl, you basically played 17 weeks, but every team you played, which wasn't in the schedule, was just random pick team. Each time you played, the next one got harder and harder, which then forced you to get better because again, it was designed to be a coin op
Yeah,
video game too. Yeah. One game, sure. Two, you're paying for the next one.
fair.
That was kind of the design of it. So, like I said, myself, no major gripes on it. But I do want to say I might just like I said, with my rose-colored glasses on the same time, I do just like this type of football game. It's different than Madden. This is an arcade game. This is something that's just supposed to be fun, quick to play. Um, you can pick it up. Most people can like say, yeah, if we were together in the room when we first played this together, I would have probably told you, hey, do this, do that. That'll help you get better at this. Hit your A to cycle through your receivers. Because it is simplistic like that. It's not a simulation. It's not where you have to know something about football.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that to me is what keeps this kind of games in my heart. Is like say it's a it's a simple arcade game that you can play in 20 minutes, and it is what it is. So much so, like I say, I do keep a version uh, called Retro Bowl on my phone, which during the football season I'll play in the doctor's office or wherever I'm waiting because a 5 minute game and it's just pull and drag like Angry Birds and you throw a pass, touch the running back and you can run. It's simple. You don't play defense at all, but it has the exact same aesthetics as this does, and that's what keeps me in that game to some degree. Like I said, I mentioned that early on. I think at one point during this year, I've been playing that on the Switch, which I have it there. And that's like I say, I do have a great love for this game. But CJ, do you find anything that you loved about this game? Is there something you really enjoy? Something to stick with you?
Yeah, just yeah, the fact that it's arcadey, quick fun, and I mean the thing that really hit me is just the attention to detail and cutscenes. Like you pointed out, who made the game? That good cutscenes, and it's not like they didn't overdo the cutscenes either. Some games, especially modern games, cutscenes kind of more in the way than telling the story much. It's perfect. It's just a little bit of cutscene, just as much as they needed. Paid attention to detail in it. More important in the length of it. I mean, the little things really push this game farther for me. I think that's my favorite part is the attention to detail. That's really it's super simple answer for me on that one. I think that's it made me appreciate the game more.
I mean, like I say we all play a little football, so we say it is football to the simplest form, and the attention to detail is something that makes this I think go a long ways in it. How about you, eh? What do you got?
I really like what you said about the arcade game. I feel like that's like the arcadiness of a game is kind of what's missing from games nowadays. You have these games like Call of Duty or Madden, or they grew up or they blew up and became popular on their arcade style shooters or just a simple fun game, not not super competitive. The guns didn't have to be balanced 1,000 times. Like there wasn't a broken, there wasn't like some play that you just had to be nerfed and everyone's talking about and everyone's complaining about it. It was just simple. It was arcadey. You could hop on Madden with your bud, spend 15 minutes, play a game, and it was just fun. It was simpler, and the simplicity is really what I like about it. It's it's not too intricate. Like Larry said, anyone could hop on and play it and pretty much learn it within 10 minutes and have a good time. And I'm a big football fan, so I mean that's also a plus for me. I like sports games, but yeah, I mean coming into this, all honesty, I thought a football game from the '90s, early '90s, was not going to be that good, but I mean it was solid. It had that arcadey feel that I'm sure you would get if you were in an arcade or you were playing against a bud in real life. And I mean I was having a good time playing against the computer. I mean if I was in real life playing with a couple friends playing some Tecmo Bowl, I feel like I could actually have a good time with it.
Oh, I feel you. I mean, that would be the thing. Like, I think that's why the arcade itself has kind of died out. Is I could see any of us. We're shopping at the mall with our girlfriends or what have you, or just we're there doing it. It's like, oh, dude, get a fucking Tecmo Bowl. We
For
could
real.
spend 15 minutes standing there, drop a buck in this thing, so two of us would go at it. Hell, four player arcade cabinet even with some
Yeah.
of them.
Right.
And just bust out a game of football. You couldn't do that in Madden. I
No.
mean, hell, even a game of Madden right now, you've got to dedicate what an hour at least to
Damn
play
near.
a.
A
And
competitive
we
game.
only
Just
play
Yeah.
a competitive game, yeah.
we only play
And
15-minute quarters.
and there's no way anyone could drop go in an arcade and pick up Madden like that. There's just no way. Like you could this game. It's
Oh,
just It's so like
Well,
it's like Madden. Like, oh, if you actually you press Y to pass and then you switch your receiver and then move right and then press Y to dive, like you could get a better catch. I'm like, that's just so much for just a game that was born off an arcade game. It's just so. I'm not saying they should lessen games now. I just feel like this is just refreshing.
yeah. It would almost, I think, benefit to have alternate versions, maybe similar to this. Maybe they update the graphics, make it look fresher, but keep the arcadiness. For example, I mean, in August when I came in, we're all over at Aidan's house playing the college football game when it just came out. I mean, let's be real. If me and you were playing, Larry, it's hard for Aidan to sit there and still be into playing. You know what I mean? You just sat for an hour, you just
Hmm.
sat for 40, got benched, whatever. With this, it feels like you can be more into it. You could have 6 or 7 people over and just rotate games quickly to where it's not, oh, well, I'm not playing for 3 hours because I just lost. You know what I mean? It's I lost and get a quick snack, get a drink, bathroom. Oh, okay. You guys at 28, 27. All right, I'm back. I'm playing. I think that, yeah, and the arcade thing, I'm jealous of you, Larry, in that aspect. I can't do that at the mall. Can't pick up a quick game.
No. Well, like I say, yeah, it would be different. Like I say, when we recall, I having buddies doing that. Like I said on a Friday, where you could, bust out easily 3 games an hour versus the one you're getting now. And if
Yeah.
there's 3 or 4 of us, you might get to play all 3 or 4 of these games. So I mean, and I think that argument's been made somewhere on the internet in regards to like where EA owns the rights to almost football itself. But there have been some attempts to make football games that have different style. I know the last one I remember was NFL Street,
Yes, I was
which
about to
I
say
think
that.
was was kind of like an NBA Jam slash football game with extreme tackles and power bombing people and all this kind of thing. So,
Yes. I used to get my
but I
ass
think
kicked.
I guess you getting your ass kicked in that all day. But I think we need something simple, just a simple pick up play game where you can still use the property. I mean, there's a place for Madden, and I do enjoy Madden, but I think we need something like this too. And EA is just not going to let us have it because they're nickel and diming it to death. And I honestly hope that it goes the way of when FIFA went for them. I hope they lose the rights to it. But I don't remember who picked it up. That's the problem. I don't know if there's even a FIFA game anymore.
Yeah, there's
Right.
Fista. Is it Sony? It might be Sony. I don't. Somebody picked it
Somebody,
up.
somebody
I'm
bigger.
interested. There's like a FIFA 25.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I mean, like I said, they apparently don't have the same marketing money as EA because I just do not hear about it at all. But
Right.
Aiden, Aiden, you got any final thoughts on this, man? What's your verdict, man? What do you got to say about Tecmo Super Bowl 2024 edition?
I'm not sure if we're rating it yet, but I mean I really liked it. Uh, Fun game. I played against the computer and I had a good time. It was interesting to see how all the teams did compared to how they did in real life. The gameplay felt smooth. It felt simple, not something that I could just pick up and learn. Like I said, play it with a buddy. I can imagine it'd be even better. But yeah, fun game. Try it out for sure.
DJ, you got anything you wanna sell to the crowd?
A lot of similar feelings. One thing I forgot to mention that really kind of grasped me in quick about the game. One thing I like to do on modern sports games, I love doing like this is my team for the season. Go through this. Am I going to play every game? No. But let me simulate a little bit, make some moves, do this, run this offense, call my play. This kind of is like base original form of it. And I love that feeling of it is to where it's not, oh, I'm just picking up and playing a play now game. It feels like, oh shit, my season's on the line. If I don't beat the Dolphins today, I'm not going to make the playoffs. It just ups the intensity of it. That's one thing I think perfect, especially for the time. I didn't even find out about doing that. I don't know when they put it into 2K game. EA made games. I didn't start doing that until like 7 years ago. That would have been cool. A lot younger if I knew it was a thing. So I mean, I really did enjoy it. I think it was fun. Like I said a million times, it's super arcadey, which I think brings a lot to the table. And I think it'd be like a great get together party game or like a pre Super Bowl game. Like for example, if you got
Yeah.
some buddies, wives are throwing together some food, or if you're lucky enough they want to go to the grocery store for you, even or guys, the dads, the bros, the boyfriends, the whoever, just hang out at the house, bust out a couple of games of this before the Super Bowl. I feel like that could be a really fun time. So Yeah, no, I'm with it.
I I think it'd be better 6 hours spent than listening to Terry Bradshaw talk about what happened in the '70s all day. I don't disagree with
Yeah,
you there at all. Um, yeah, I think this is not the first football game. So there's a lot of people who've tried them. Um, I think the one thing which I know we didn't bring up in this in the original, but in the graphics portion of this thing, did anyone happen to notice any real bad flickering or any of that? Because there's 22 sprites running at all times on this damn thing. I mean, maybe a little bit, but maybe your eyes are just so far separated from it that you
maybe.
didn't catch it. But I don't recall seeing a whole lot of slowdown or any of the major issues.
I don't really either. I mean, I've had
Not like you. Maybe my eyes were elsewhere.
I mean, that's just something I want to throw out there. Like I said, I just to step up the idea. Like I said, we run games, Mega Man, where's four things on the screen and three of them are disappearing at the moment.
yeah.
So, yeah, I know I brought this idea to the table, so my final thought on this really is just yeah, it was a good game. I did want to share this with you guys because I think this actually goes on for a while. Tecmo did it up to the point of I think the PlayStation was the last one that they did, and even Xbox had Tecmo something bowl, but it didn't have any players. It had the stats, had their numbers, but didn't really have the names and teams names. So I mean, it's still out there, and like I say, with the reiteration that we have right here, it still has a lot of love out there in the world, and I think you guys have seen why. Um, so we have an opportunity to come back every year and talk and do this one again if we'd like to, but I won't push on that too much. Maybe for the
I'm up.
Super Nintendo or for Sega or something. We'll see how that goes. Um, but yeah, I do recommend this to everyone. I mean, especially if you're a football fan, you've never tried it, it's worth the try. Some people it won't be for it. I get that, but it'd be hard to say how you couldn't. I don't know. Maybe you just don't like having fun. I don't know. So, oh, the only other thing I did want to talk about before we do close out today, we just talked about it. But I do. When I was a young kid, I was a stats nerd. This game keeps track of your season of how many rushing yards you had, how many passing yards, interceptions, touchdowns. That's another thing of holy shit did these guys go above and beyond in this. Um, Especially in this one here, I say kickoff returns, sacks. I led league in sacks. I was the number one passing uh, quarterback, but I didn't have a receiver in the top 10. I didn't have a running back in the top 10. Did you guys pay attention to any of that or see any of that happen for you? Or
I meant to click on it because I'm kind of a stats nerd myself, and I didn't. I forgot about it because I was worried about over simulating a couple weeks. I just kept making sure I was doing it right.
uh,
Miss-
well, I mean, with that, then I guess the question would be: do you plan on coming back to it, CJ, at some point?
Yeah, I think I like the idea of revisiting every year. So even hell, like I said, I think a pre Super Bowl get together kind of thing, or even just near the during the football season, and like hell, even say we want to all get together week 4 and watch games. Yeah, let's throw it up on another screen, play it. It doesn't take a shit ton of attention. And football
Hmm,
is one of the slower progressing sports when you're looking at watchability. I mean, all right, there's a timeout. Let's go play 3, 4 possessions. Like I definitely could see myself wanting to play this again. So I'm here for it.
okay. How about you, Ed?
I think I would play it again. I mean, I had a good enough time already, but like CJ said, playing it with some friends would definitely take it to a whole nother level, and I think I'd for sure come back to it.
Um, well, obviously my answer would be yeah. This one, like I say, hangs tight, but there are actually other versions. Like I say, from the Super Nintendo, they have three different ones. Sega had a couple different ones, and I think they update rosters for those too. So I
Nice.
mean, there's a
Probably.
lot of possibilities for all this in here, but it's just like I say, if you love the footballs, it's a great game to really get into. So yeah, I actually will be. I'll be playing it again probably next year. I know I'm about ready to hit my lull period of I've had enough football.
Yeah.
Especially after we get done binging on Super Sunday of celebrating the world it is. Because like even with that whole new was that UFL or something that's coming out in the spring ball where the fuck they call it
Yeah,
now. I love football. I don't love football that much, man. I need a break. I need a breather.
understand.
I mean, even the XFL can only catch me for like one or two games, and the only positive of that is I can afford to go to one of those games. So
Right.
but let's do the hard part here. Let's go ahead and slap some numbers on top of this. I will actually jump into this one first because I just got this big old massive erection for this game, and I'm going to say it's going to have to be an 8.5. Um, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? No, good game, plays great. The update every year I think helps. If I'm wrong, I'd actually like to play with the Bears from the '90s team a lot better. But also, like I say, I've kind of played that out. So at least with the updates, it keeps it fresh, keeps it going, and it's not perfect, but it's not bad. 8.5, I think, is where this needs to sit, and that's where I'm going to put it today. Aiden, how about you? What number you got for me, man?
I have a number in my head, and I've had this number. I think I wrote it down here. It's gonna on a napkin. It might I don't know what's if it's backwards for you guys, but it might look like a 0.8, but for the audience it looks like an 8.0. So that's what I'm giving it.
Okay.
On an 80 out of 10 for that 8.0. I think that's where it sits. I mean, it's just a fun arcadey game. It'd be definitely a blast with some homies playing it. Not really any major issues that stand out to me or really annoying kind of features. I mean, it's just a solid game. It just updated rosters take it to the next level to keep my intrigue peaked. But yeah, I mean, what do you think? See, you gonna steal our numbers
Um,
or intrigue peak?
actually, yeah, I am because I had an 8 as well. I mean, it's everything that you need when it's bare bones football, and sometimes less is more. I mean, honestly. So in this aspect, it's nice to take a break from, like Aiden mentioned previously, every game that is modernly made is overly competitive, changed and fixed constantly, and every issue isn't like, it's one thing. It's, oh my god, this ruins my experience with it. And so I think in this aspect where it is a lot simpler, and a big point that you said, Larry, the updated rosters, I mean, it increases the longevity of the game, especially like for example, it's hard to find a good Jets year. But if I want, I can go
Yeah.
back and find a good Jets year, or at least a better Jets year. And it's just overall, it's nothing perfect, but for what it is, it's worth playing. And I mean, I think it's well worth playing, and I definitely will revisit this over some of the other games we've played. So I mean, I can't unfairly give it anything lower. That's how I feel.
I mean, that puts us pretty damn close to consensus. I'm not a math Asian, but I'm pretty sure we're hitting about 8-1, right?
8.16, we round to 8.2. That is the score, which gives it a good game on the VGR score, which is our most popular category as well, because we all pick good games for.
Well, this is we went a little extra on this, so I think we definitely can't go wrong with this one. And it falls in. I think we could probably pull down Tecmo Bowl a little bit more, especially when you feel the simplicity of it. But wanted to come out good. I wanted you guys to have a good experience, find yourself a classic football game that I think you can really enjoy from the 8-bit era.
Couldn't
I
agree
can.
more.
I can.
So let's go ahead and you guys got anything else you want to talk about this, or you guys ready to come back to reality?
Let's come back to reality. We
Um,
have a
Buddy.
little gamble going on here. Slight
All
slight VGR gamble. Larry, what's going on here?
right. Well, we decided prior to this we were going to go ahead and since there's a football game coming up the Sunday after this comes out, we wanted to pick the winner, and with that, we were going to pick the winner and the score, and with that, they gives us opportunity to see who will get to pick our next big extra that we do uh, collectively as a group. So what we're going to do is go ahead and display and talk about our winners and what the final score is. Closest to, I guess what, closest to the correct answer will get the win. And we'll post that winner up on social media. And later on, we'll reference what game that will be at some point, and you guys will get to be the beneficiaries of it all. And if nothing else, we get the opportunity to make fun of CJ because he'll be totally wrong.
I
So,
we all have a number written down. I will volunteer because I know I don't want anybody copying my answer. I know it's gonna happen. I'll have our number written down. I hope this is not back.
okay,
I
so
think
this,
it's gonna be backwards for you guys, but right side up for the viewing experience.
so your winner and your final scores are going to be.
Philly gets the dub, and it's gonna be 24-28. Philly. That's my
All right.
that's my opinion.
I'm mad at
Chiefs
it.
Chiefs 3 touchdowns and a field goal. Philly 4 touchdowns.
Okay. Okay.
But listen, here's my thought process here. I'm explaining why I think the Chiefs get the dubs, and not just because I want, or the Eagles get the dubs, and not just because I want the Chiefs to lose. We all know, and a little thought: Eagles have the worst fan base probably in football. They're just really shitty.
Yeah.
But I just can't.
Yeah.
I can't. The Swifty, the team of the Swifty. I just can't let it happen again. It's just. I'm gonna go crazy if we have to witness another Chiefs win. But here's my thought process. I feel like we have the Chiefs are not going to be able to stop the run. They're not going to be able to stop Barkley. Barkley's going to get 120 yards. Maybe he's going to at least get a rushing touchdown. Hurts might get a rushing touchdown or two. And I mean, we've seen where you have these teams, and when the run gets open up, and you have a running quarterback that you have to focus on as well, it's just so dangerous. And you have like AJ Brown, Devontae Smith on 2 wide receivers. I mean, Jalen Hurts stepped it up and actually had three rushing touchdowns, a passing touchdown, I think, and like 300 yards last game. And I think the Lions could put up a fight against the Chiefs, but the Lions lost to the Commanders, and then the Eagles blew out the Commanders. I mean, the all season the Chiefs haven't showed me something where it's blowing me away. They've always played solid, good football, and they've won games. But let's be honest, they've got bailed out a lot. They've got bailed out by the refs on a bunch of calls. They've got like the BS. They missed a couple field goals. I think it was the Raiders, which I think CJ's
Oh
very
my god, bro.
very aware of that loss where the Raiders missed the field goal. He might have had money on the line there. But
Allegedly.
I just think the Eagles are they have I feel like the only thing that is similar is the defense. They're kind of neck and neck, but I honestly think the Eagles have a better defense as well, more offensive weapons. I mean, you have Xavier Worthy, which has been better in the playoffs. Travis Kelsey stinker last week. He only had 8 yards, but still got the dub. I don't see a world where the Chiefs pull this out with everything the Eagles have.
Don't disagree. Don't disagree. Oh. With that, I'll jump off of you because I don't have that much color commentary to follow with you on that. There, I'm not. I can't even pull a Tony Romo on in here. But in this, I hope you all can see this. I have picked Philadelphia to win over Kansas City, 24-17. Um, my biggest reasoning outside of hating Kansas City is I want to see Taylor Swift cry on TV. I want her to see her feel bad. I want the whole Swifty Nation to take a shit on the floor and get Swifty. Okay.
You shifty.
Um, but outside of that, no, I think, like you say, the biggest of it, Philadelphia is the better rounded team. Kansas City, I don't know. If the NFL is backing them and doing all this bullshit that they say they're not doing, Kansas City better fucking lose because otherwise they're going to prove everybody right that they're doing it. But I'm just some guy sitting here behind a microphone, so I don't know. What do you guys see?
Wasn't changing my score. I saw the way that you did yours, Larry, and figured I need to scratch right mine a little bit to bolden it up. Um, we're pretty much all on the same here. I got Eagles 34. They're gonna get 4 touchdowns, 2 field goals. Chiefs are gonna get 3 touchdowns and a field goal. Chuck the Fiefs. That's all I gotta add at the end there. I'm with you. My hatred for Taylor Swift runs deep. Everybody knows Beyonce had the best music video that year. So I mean, I just don't know. I just I don't know what the issue is here. I don't like the Chiefs. I think all year you guys had great points. I won't be as far and in depth here, but I don't. Chiefs have blown me away this year. As much of a hater I am when it comes to teams like this, in previous years I could hate on them, but I couldn't deny what they were doing. This year it doesn't feel special. It doesn't feel like they're really doing anything. They're squeaking their ass off to get out of games by making out with refs at halftime to get the win. Like, I mean, Aidan mentioned the Raiders game that I may or may not have had money on and may have not have like hurt my steering out of my car over it. It's just they've had a lot of bullshit wins, and I just think when it comes down to the big game, you can't get a bullshit win if you want to win it. So Eagles 34 points, win by 10, Chiefs 24.
Okay, well, at least again, like I said, we pick good games, we pick good teams. Hopefully, we'll see if we're good at picking better numbers. Don't forget to follow us on social media so you can see who won, because we're not going to talk about it again. You have
Yeah.
to find out there.
Wait,
Don't forget to
wait.
check it out.
I just realized we all picked the same team. What happens if the Chiefs win?
I
It's going to be
almost
on the score.
Yeah, I almost was thinking. I feel like you guys were picking the Eagles. I will go with the Chiefs just because if they win, I would automatically de facto have no comp on the score. But
I'm pretty sure the Chiefs are favored right now in the sports betting world. I want to say that, but I
Oh
just
yeah, the NFL's backing. Why wouldn't they be?
yeah.
they're in on that.
I don't
They're
know
in
if
on
it does. If it doesn't work out, then we'll just have to have an arm wrestling match and see what works out, and we'll make it happen. But at least you know
I
where we stand on it.
I'm pretty sure going to the playoffs, if we took every team and then pick which team you'd want it to win the most and which team you wanted to win the least, the two people that I would want it to win the least would be the Eagles and the Chiefs. So
yeah.
let's just say the best case scenario for this game is they both lose. I'm excited for the Super Bowl food, and yeah, maybe Kendrick Lamar at halftime.
Lamar,
That's
Kendrick
about it.
Lamar.
Oh, and Kanye made Taylor Swift famous. So made that bitch famous.
Helped out a lot. Helped out a lot. I mean, a good heel needs a good face, I guess. But either way, that's plenty enough of us yakking about football. We do appreciate y'all listening. CJ, can you do the outro? You want to do the outro? See if you can make this happen.
One comment. I'm sorry, Olivia. My sister is a big Taylor Swift fan. I did not mean what I just said.
So,
All right, guys.
hey,
Thanks for hitting us. Oh shit, shit.
Cut him off again. Sorry,
Premature,
sorry, C.
premature there. Yeah, no, thanks for tuning into VGR Football Edition. It was fun to get some, date to or of date events going. Got a little sports ball talk out of here. Had a good time playing Tecmo Bowl. What are we doing next though? We're getting back to the basics. Focus back to the basics. Larry, you want to tell us what we're playing?
coming up next time, we will be breaking out the Wall Street Kid. We'll come back. We're going to talk about money next time. Money and gold diggers and all that kind of stuff. I just wanted to make sure that we let everybody know where we was and tell them where to find us. See.
Yep. All right. Find us. Hit us up on social media, VGR Podcast. Go watch the YouTube video. We got some stuff in the works. Go see some of our faces and reactions during this one. Hit us up on Instagram. Hit us up on TikTok. And like Larry mentioned, we're not going to talk about who wins the bet here. Maybe you do the math. Maybe you find out the scores, but you're not going to know what it is. You're going to have to come find it on Instagram and TikTok and other stuff. It's not going to be out here. It's not going to be on audio platforms. So hit us up,
Nope.
VGR Podcast. Send us an email. If you want to give us a prediction or tell us how you feel about Tecmo Bowl, hit us up in the email, vgrpod@gmail.com. Send us all your love and support and money. But if I look a little bigger after the Super Bowl, I apologize, and I'm sure you always do too. We will see you after the Super Bowl. The miserable Jets fan signing out. Somebody
Okay.
follow
Well,
up.
I've been Larry. I appreciate y'all listening. I have no shame about how big I will be after the Super Bowl. There's new year, new month. Our pants will still be fitting.
As the words of somebody else, I will be huge. I'll see you guys later.
Thank y'all for listening. We'll see you next time.
Peace.
What else is Matt?